What's on y'all niggas' minds?
Fight Club 25, and I'm here to talk about this thing we call boxing. Today I want to talk about Manny Pacquiao. Bob Arum, Manny Pacquiao's promoter, CEO of Top Rank, was quoted as saying that they're looking at three names for a possible fight for the end of October, early November. And they're looking at the Mandalay Bay, T-Mobile Arena, MGM Grand as possible venues for the fight. But before I even get into these three names, I just want to start off by saying, Bob Arum, man, you got to take whatever he says with a grain of salt, man. Bob Arum and Don King has had a stranglehold on the sport of boxing for over 40 years. You know what I'm saying? And what they would do in those days is, these little promoters would build up these fighters, man. And people like Don King and Bob Arum would swoop in and snatch up the fighter and then underpay them and undermarket them, meanwhile collecting big licensing fees from the cable and television networks. Now, I know those are the same two guys that brought you the Thriller and Manila and a lot of other big fights. But the fighters were getting robbed blind in those days, man. But keep it official. They were getting robbed blind. And that's why Mayweather stepped off, man. After he left Bob Arum, he was quoted as saying that he was underpaid and undermarketed, And he had the mentality, man, like my man Frank White in The King of New York, man. I guess Mayweather said, you guys got fat while everybody starved in the street. It's my turn. That's a quote from King of New York, man. I don't know if y'all might not know about that, man. That's one of the most gangster movies ever made, man. But back to Manny Pacquiao. They're looking at three opponents, and I want to get into that right now and give you my quick thoughts on it. They're looking at first Danny Garcia. Now, Danny Garcia, I like this fight. It makes sense. It makes good business sense. And I'm going to tell you why, in my opinion, it makes good business sense. A lot of people would like to see Danny Garcia lose. Reason being, they felt that Danny Garcia was on the good end of a lot of bad decisions. Me personally, I tend to agree. The Herrera fight in Puerto Rico, a lot of people felt that was a robbery. I concur. Lamont Peterson, I felt Peterson took that fight. That's my personal opinion. However, I feel Danny Garcia also receives too much criticism. He has one of the best resumes in the sport of boxing, and the boy can crack, man. He's durable, man. He got a good hook, a strong chin. But he has his flaws, man. He has his flaws. But it would be interesting to see Danny Garcia get in there with Pacquiao and mix it up, man. So I'm for that fight, man. I'm for that fight. And like I said, I feel he receives too much criticism. That whole Rod Selker situation, man, kind of cast a dark shadow over the career of Garcia, man. But he's a tough kid, man. Tough Philly kid, man. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. The number two, Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas would be an interesting fight also, in my opinion. He overcame Saddam Ali to win the WBO title that was vacated by Timothy Bradley, and he looked good, man. He looked good, and Vargas, he credited his new trainer, Dewey Cooper, for his strength and conditioning, man, and the game plan that he had going in the ring, man. So, it wouldn't be a bad fight. It makes sense. He has the WBO title. If Pacquiao were to win, he would be in that tournament, man. And I would definitely like to see him mix it up with somebody like Keith Thurman. But that's another video, another story for another day. And one more thing, if he's not willing to face them young lions, man, then he can ride off into the sunset, man. Go do his Senate thing, man. As far as I'm concerned, you know, and that's no, I'm not bashing the man. And at number 3, the winner of Crawford Postal. Pacquiao was willing to fight at 140. His coach Freddie Roach was quoted as saying, he says that he feels that's his natural weight, and he would be comfortable fighting at that weight. However, I do not believe for 1 minute that they will put Pacquiao in there with Crawford unless Arum is trying to cash Pacquiao out. That's the only way I see that fight happening, if that's the scenario. I used to have a lot of love and respect for Manny Pacquiao as a fighter, man. But he lost me, man, back when, you know, him and his promoter, they tried to play that good versus evil narrative, man, when with the Floyd Mayweather thing, with that fight, you know, this good versus evil. I thought that was corny, man. And my thing is, what makes you so good and what makes him so evil? You know, I wasn't feeling that, and I lost a lot of respect for him after that. And also with the whole shoulder excuse, you know. But it is what it is, man. You know, but Fight Club 25 here. Just wanted to update you and bring you that information real quick. You know, let me know what you think, man. You know, hit the like, comment, subscribe to your boy, Fight Club 25. I'm out.